Didn't you say that one time Lou Thez gave you like a really big compliment somewhere, right? You were at like or it was like one of those Slamboree Legends reunions or something.
He told me I worked like those guys from back in the day, you know, and he told Chavo Guerrero was actually sitting across the table, and he goes, "Who's this guy?" I go to Chavo Guerrero. He's from the famous Guerrero family, you know, and he asked me, "Is he smart?" I go, "Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. He's cool." And Chavo Guerrero picked up and walked away from the table, man. Crazy. It's nuts. Yeah.
Oh man, that's it. Meaning, he's smart. Meaning, does he know? Does he know protocol?
He know the business. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Going back to that era, I'm not one of those students of the game like a lot of guys that got into this business. I started at a certain time, and I pretty much went from that time forward to now. I didn't start there and go back and try to figure out, what the history of wrestling was. I just knew it was a paycheck, and I knew from the era that I watched it and the guys that got over and how they got over. I said, let me watch these guys to try to figure out, how to go out here and proceed. So that's when I pretty much start, wanting to, get into the ring, from a fantasy perspective. Just say, for instance, man, with superstar Billy Graham, so you know what I mean? To just be in the arena, with superstar Billy Graham is a spectacle in itself, but to actually be in the ring with superstar Billy Graham in 1978. Oh my God. I'm gonna tell you, man, there was nobody bigger in that era, than superstar Billy Graham. But there again, that's a fantasy. I couldn't even dream being in a place like that with one of those guys, but Jose Lothario, Mil Mascaras, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's a lot of stars from back in the day that I watched, Chavo Guerrero Sr., man. I mean, give him his
Chavo classic. My era knows him. Yeah. What's crazy? You bring those guys up because I was watching the network and they had an old AWA show on there. And I had never seen, and I realized it the other night, I had never seen Jesse Ventura ever wrestle. I just knew him as a commentator. And I will say, Jesse Ventura could work with the best of them. Jesse, the body was great. The match I saw, he was excellent.
Jesse could go, bro. He was a real heel, bro. He wasn't a guy that was going to go out there messing around. You thought it was real when you saw Jesse in the ring perform, even as flamboyant as he was outside of the ring. When he got in the ring, Jesse, the body, was a guy that was to be reckoned with. And that's what wrestling was back then. And those guys, I watched Jesse and I learned a lot from Jesse. I mean, he wasn't a guy that I wanted to emulate or anything like that, but Jesse was a guy that drew money. That's the thing you got to recognize, because I remember when my brother and I first got into WCW, Bill Watts said, you guys could work, but can you draw money? I love what you would just give us a shot, man. Give us a shot, Right. Everything worked out. But nah, man, that era, man, those guys, man, back then, they were larger than life figures, and for me to want to mix it up with those guys, I don't think I want to go back that far. But like I say, the tag team side, nobody bigger than the Road Warriors versus Harlem Heat. I think that match could have just really been legendary to where people would have still been talking about it to this day. I mean, of course we beat the hell out the Nasty Boys. Of course we beat up Bagwell and however many partners he had. Of course we beat up Lex Luger and Sting. We beat them all because we were the Harlem Heat. 10-time WCW Tag Team Champions. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.